show. Our special guest today is an acclaimed actor and writer without whom the Kumars at number 42 would be a quieter place, and that's not a good thing. She's smart, funny and effortlessly multitasking. She's Meera Syal.
Thank you.
And also joining me today is a magician and comedian, and the thing is, he's a man, so obviously he cannot multitask. But nevertheless, his sleight of hand is enviable. It's John Lenihan. Hi.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I was reading. You were saying?
The single task,
yes,
too great.
I'm single
Never mind. Lovely to have you here. And I'm very pleased to say we have the multifaceted Maria McCurlane here too.
Did you say multifaceted or multi-faced?
Oh, multifaceted, you sparkle with many lights.
Oh, I'm loving that.
Anyway, welcome to all of you. Now, Meera, are you up for a spot of cooking?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel you must be someone who likes food and cooking.
I do. Are you saying I'm fat?
No, I'm not. I'm saying, I'll tell you what, because I feel that you come from much the same sort of culture as I do, which is food is incredibly important. And there's always something, you know, I imagine you grew up like me with people using food in a way to mark particular occasions, to both cover and excite emotions.
All of those things. I mean, you know, food is a real emotional issue, really.
It is.
You know, when I cook Indian food, which I do quite often, even though I don't live near my mum, I feel like my mum's in the room with me because I'm making the same recipe. And Indian food has a kind of comfort for me that no other food does. So, and we feed our children. Eat your tooth in, eat. So we do all of that.
OK, I'll be doing that to you.
Yeah, please do. I'll eat anything you put in front of me.
Well, I'm going to make some chocolate chip muffins.
Hooray, chocolate!
I should really call them chocolate chip muffins because they are so intensely chocolatey, you cannot believe it. Are you a muffin maker?
I have, but the cheaty ones, you know, where it's like instant packet, that's very bad, isn't it?
It's not that it's bad, but it's not necessary, and I can explain just why, Meera.
Okay.
I'm not going to be too bossy, I hope, but I'm always borderline bossy.
That's fine.
I'm afraid this goes with this territory.
I like it.
So the thing about muffins is that you're just mixing dry ingredients and then pouring in wet. So dry, obviously, you know, for any cake-like thing, flour, and then baking powder and bicarb. I always use plain flour, and I don't use self-raising. I just prefer to add the raising ingredients.
Why is that, then?
Well, mainly because I suppose I don't have an awful lot of cupboard space, so if I have one bag of self-raising flour and one of plain, it takes more room than if I had just plain. And also, I think the thing about self-raising flour is somehow the raising agents seem to stale more, and you don't get the oomph. Sugar. I'm going to go quickly past the sugar. Cocoa, really lovely cocoa, not drinking powder, not like when you make a hot chocolate. And these chocolate chips, which I just put in at the very end, lots of them. That's kind of, you know, they're going to be good when there's so many chocolate chips. OK, so flour. My raising agents. It was very good of you to ask the question like that.
Well, I've always wondered, because the lazy cook, like I do, just buys a bag of self-raising.
Well, no, but it's not even because of lazy. I used to do that, and then I just think those things weren't working, and then I get spillages, because I'm the impatient cook. And I have spillages, or I put them in a container, and I can't remember which is which.
That's bad.
Yeah, so that's really... Not that I think it makes a huge difference. And the cocoa. Nice big mountain of that. So I'm just going to do a bit of a swap around, because I'm going to get on my wet ingredients. Milk, oil, just ordinary vegetable oil or something that has not much flavour, an egg and some vanilla. So it's not very difficult.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Sometimes, and I don't know, this makes me sound like a, you know, slightly mad person, but sometimes on the weekend I put the wet ingredients already in a jug in the fridge before I go to bed, and I put those out, because I don't like weighing and measuring first thing in the morning. And then I could be like the purveyor of good things, a bringer of muffins into the household on Sunday morning, because I've already weighed everything out on Saturday night.
I'm sure your family appreciate it. There is something fantastic about being baked something.
I know, and it's easier than normal cooking.
It is, you just jam it in the oven.
You're just quite, in no time, it's just one thing.
But, you know, Indians don't bake. I thought our oven was just to keep the griddle in. I didn't actually know you could cook things in it. Just everything was kind of on a flame.
That's so nice. I like that, because then you have all those pots everywhere simmering away, and it just makes the kitchen so welcoming.
Yes, and smelly, actually.
I like it. It makes the whole house smell. I like that. OK, I'm going to do a bit of pouring now. This is the most complicated thing I'm going to be doing today.
Just that?
This. And this, of course, the other really good thing is that you need a lumpy mixture. Well, you don't need a lumpy mixture. I'm going to make you stir, actually.
Sure.
Why am I doing this?
No problem.
I could just be standing here. Because the muffins get lighter if they're not overworked.
Oh, OK, so you don't want it really, really smooth?
Yeah, so to be honest, you could it's not harder than getting a packet one.
No, actually, much more satisfying as well.
Now, don't overwork. Yes, you see now?
Nice.
The pièce de résistance. Just a few, of course. And I'm just going to start filling up my muffin cases. I'm rather messy, so I find, especially because this does make a fairly, it's a liquidy mixture, I use an ice cream scoop to fill up muffins.
That's a good idea. What does the oil do, actually?
Well, fat always makes things taste better, let's be frank. I mean, you could have melted butter, but then you'd have to get up earlier and melt the butter, so wait for it to be liquid.
And measure it out, and that's very time-consuming on a Saturday
night. The oil
night.
makes it taste nice. But I am a great believer that fat is very, very good for the skin.
I think so. Well, especially as you get older, they do say you can either have your face or your bum, don't they?
Or just face and a lot of bum.
And a lot of bum.
But thanks to J-Lo, we can all have big bottoms now. So I'm thrilled.
Men do prefer it. It's true. It's true.
And it's easier to maintain.
Absolutely.
That's what I find. Anyway, this is what I do. Just a teeny few bits on top.
Right.
I mean, you can buy ordinary chocolate and just chop it up, but it will melt more. The thing about chocolate chips, for some reason, they hold their form as they dissolve a teeny bit, so it's just more interesting in terms of texture, but I think I'm really trying to justify the fact that otherwise there's a lot of chopping. I'm not going to pretend to put this in the oven in that normal way, though I could, but I have got some here. So it's about, I'm trying to think, 200 degrees. These have had about 25 minutes. There we are.
Fantastic smell.
Homemade muffins never have that kind of heft and risen bit that shop-bought muffins have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they put in there. I suppose a steam oven, but I do think, I don't know, they taste much better. Can you see that?
That's almost rude, isn't it? It's almost like...
Would you like one, or do you want me just to go...
I just want you to rub it on my body, actually.
I'm going to give you one you can unwrap yourself.
Thank you.
Anyway, so there you go. Chocolate chip muffins.
That is fantastic. I mean, really.
It's comforting.
It's real
lovely.
comfort food, and the chocolate's just melting. Highly recommended. Very good.
Now, Meera, I don't know whether you ever did those kind of Jackie quizzes when you were a girl, when you found out your personality.
Oh, all the time. Yep.
Well, I was a complete Jackie magazine fan. But when I was reading your books, which I've done sort of over the years, I have to say quickly, I wasn't doing quick research for you today, that I think what you're so good at is the whole nature of female friendships from girlhood. And when people say, I mean, I've seen people say about you that you write very well about being an Asian girl, in Britain, and I think, well, you write very well about being a girl. And I thought that I would kind of marry that interest, as I say, to my early fascination with those quizzes. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Yep.
You must not lie.
I will not lie. I swear on the muffin, I will not lie.
And I will ask you a question, I will give you some answers you can choose from. You can be A, B or C.
Yep.
What you mustn't do, and I know it will be tempting, is choose the answer which will put you in the best light.
Nice.
And you two, just, start now, quickly get a pen, bit of paper, and, but only if you're absolutely honest. I can't have any lying. Understood? Yes. OK. You have two friends who hate each other.
Right.
Oh, that's happened.
Yes.
One says, if you hang around with her, I'm not your friend. OK? What would you do? A, set her straight. Tell your friend that you won't ditch the other girl just because your friend threatens not to like you anymore. B, be sensitive. Whenever you're with one of your friends, don't mention it to the other one. Or C, give it time. Your friends might grow on each other. A, B or C, Meera?
C, I think.
C, you think you would give it time?
I would try and avoid unnecessary conflict at an early stage, yes.
So your way of avoiding conflict is an optimistic way, because you think, it might work out.
Yeah, especially with girls, because
It's
You
being
can fall out,
Yes.
fall out one day, especially when you're younger, and then 2 weeks later you've forgotten all about it and you're propping each other up because someone's had their heart broken, so...
It is that awful rotation of best friends as well, isn't it?
I know. My daughter's 12 and she's just going through all of that. I mean, you know, 1 minute you're somebody's best friend and the next minute she's such a bitch because she said this, right? And I said, whatever, Mingo, and she said, like, right, you know, and it's like this whole thing. I'm like, it's so complicated.
I know. Well, I've
And
got 10 and
passionate.
11-year-old girls who are exactly like that, and you know it's going to hurt and you know it's going to be worse.
Yep.
However, I am the coward. You know, it says be sensitive whenever you're with one of your friends. Don't mention it to the other one. I am that. I am B.
Oh, you're
I'm
going to just
know
avoid
mine.
the issue completely.
No, I do. I'm pessimistically avoiding conflict.
Right, OK.
OK. Recently, Meera, you got a cool black leather jacket as a gift. As soon as your friend found out about it, she bought exactly the same one before you had a chance to wear it. What would you do? A, lay it on the line. Tell her you try hard to be original and don't like looking the same as her. B, take her shopping. C, have fun with it. Pretend you're twins and just have fun. A, B or C?
I think probably C.
Right, C it is.
Because hopefully I would look a lot better in the jacket than... I take her out and feed her muffins, so she grew out of the jacket
Yes.
very, very quickly.
OK, I'm going to jot down what I think I would be pathetic and take her shopping. Now, whenever one of your friends does something better, I'm sure it's never happened, Meera, or has a nicer outfit than you, you get really jealous. You don't want to feel like this, but you can't seem to stop. What would you do? A, look inside. When a friend does something better, you see it as another goal to accomplish and getting better at something. B, be happy for her. Or C, be creative. Make a My Good Qualities journal. Take a look at your journal when you get jealous. Don't tell me you're going to go for C again. A, B or C?
Is there not a D? Scratch her eyes out.
I think there should be a D option.
Because there should be. I think it might be an A on that one, actually.
OK.
Just try and think, well, OK, maybe there's something I can do that's good as well.
Yes, I'd think, OK, so I haven't got good legs, but at least I'm not flat-chested.
Exactly.
OK, that's one way of looking at it. A friend has lied. You asked her to go to the cinema with you and she said she couldn't, but then when you went there, you saw her with another one of your girlfriends. What would you do? Would you A, get angry, B, get the whole story? You know, there could have been a misunderstanding.
Right.
Or C, give her a break. You know, she probably had plans with that person before and she didn't want to hurt your feelings, that's why she didn't tell you.
Oh, it might be A, actually.
Would you get angry?
Well, not in an angry way. Just go, that's weird, because I saw you and you said you were... Why didn't you just tell me?
OK.
Because that would have been OK.
Well, you're a very complicated
I'm
person,
very
Meera,
complicated.
with
I'm
your-
very Jekyll and Hyde, aren't
You
I?
are. You
Yeah,
have really foxed them here. What I do, I think, I would do the C, but that was only for cowardly reasons.
Yeah.
I would just not say anything.
It's very hard to be friends with someone when there's a big secret line
No,
between
I
you
know.
or something that
Like
you haven't
they've lied
said.
and they've gone out
Yeah.
with another girlfriend, not you.
They could tell, because I'd just be... The next time I saw them, I would be like this.
Are you not really happy you're not 12 anymore?
I am so happy I'm not 12 anymore. It's horrible being 12.
Now I'm going to give you your answers, Meera. Now, Meera is a split personality. And she is not mostly anything. She is half A's and half C's, which has very rarely happened. OK, mostly A's. You're a chief chum. Everyone knows who you are. You are a loyal friend and a leader.
Right.
You are also C's. You are a free spirit and love your friends, but you also like your own company. True?
Yeah.
Good.
Totally,
And
yeah.
you're patient and you do have a positive attitude, but be sure you're letting your friends get to know the real you. Classic split personality there. OK, audience, start voting. I want to see how you did. Mostly B's. I will tell you what B's are, because I am also a B. You are a heart and soul sister. You're a girl who loves having friends, and hanging out with them is your favourite way to spend the day. Your friends rely on you for encouragement and support, but you need to say when enough is enough. Did you feel that was a fair kind of, I don't know, summary of your emotional behaviour?
You mean am I schizophrenic? Yeah.
No, it's not so much that, but in a way, not so much that seriously, that, you know, that you like your friends but like your own company as well, and that you're not afraid to speak your mind, although you value other people.
I really do value my female friendships, I have to say. I've got a bunch of really loyal friends, some of whom I've known for 30 years. some of whom, you know, our kids have grown up together. And it is true, whilst husbands and boyfriends tend to come and go, your women friends tend to be quite steadfast.
Yes.
So, you know, when you're younger, you want a best friend that you do everything with. And I
Yes.
think as you get older, you realise that different friends do give you different things, and you can't kind of be possessive about them the way you are when you're much younger, because you know, everybody kind of takes different things from different people. Yeah.
And also, it's, the funny thing is, I mean, it's a bit like, I mean, I don't believe in horoscopes and things, but if I've got a paper opened and it's there without meaning to, my eye falls on whatever my star sign is, you know, but it happens to be that day. And in the same way as that if I see a quiz like this, not only do I want to do it, but I really feel I have to be honest. I don't want... What would it matter if you lied? But you can't. It's quite good how it brings that out in you, don't you think?
I think they were... I mean, the Jackie quizzes that, you know, I also did when I was younger were quite a good way through to kind of knowing yourself. Now, think about it. Although they were very kind of simple and kind of fun, but they did actually make you ask questions of yourself in quite a good way, actually, about your motives and what you wanted and sometimes what you thought about the future. And I think that's a bad thing, actually.
And about also realising that people are different, that you would do it with a group of friends and you would say different things, but you could still like each other and be with each other.
Yeah, so quite a good learning tool.
Yes.
Trivial as they may seem, but kind of quite important, really.
No,
in a
I think
weird
you're
way.
right. Thank you for making me feel better about my very anti-Paxman interviewing techniques.
I think Jamie Paxman should do the Jackie quiz with Tony Blair next time he's there.
I think you should too.
You get a lot better answers, I have a feeling.
Now, something that gives me an enormous amount of pleasure is gadgets, although I do feel like I'm trapped in a carry-on script there. And in particular, the ones that I genuinely believe will change my life. You know how it is, you know, you read about something, for me it's nearly always in a catalogue, and you think, I can't live for another moment without it. Anyway, here is my selection of the kind of compulsive, must-have purchases. I would like to draw your attention first to the Lav Nav. Now this, listen, it's not a funny thing. I have a very weak bladder and I stumble to the loo in the middle of the night, so I need, please, lights dimmed to approximate my bathroom at 2 in the morning, please.
Wow.
Please proceed. It is safe to pee. You see, the lavatory seat is up. And now, and that's, I would halt now, red. OK, here the lights up. I feel I've demonstrated that to the best of my abilities, short, actually, of using it. And this is the deal. You see, actually, it's not the lavatory seat, it's this little device.
I think that's just brilliant.
Is it not good?
Well, to stop you from falling in the toilet. Is that what it's for?
Well, you wouldn't fall in if it were red.
is.
You can, one thing you can see the loo in the room, but also the fact is that you don't want to sit down on it if the seat's down.
Yeah, but you only do that once, right?
Maybe your skills. Would you benefit from one in your house?
Definitely. I, too, enjoy my little nocturnal trips to the lav. Although, is there one for blokes that actually helps them aim?
That would be good. I also feel you should have, like, the amber light for caution. A man has been here. The bottom seat is up also.
But I think, Nigella, if you have such a weak bladder, maybe a nighttime catheter would be good for you.
Meera, I have for you the moo mixer.
The moo
The
mixer.
moo mixer. The lazy cow in all of us.
Shall I demonstrate?
Yes. You see, you don't have to stir your tea and coffee.
And the other benefit of this is you get a mini tornado in the middle of it. Annie, this isn't Kansas.
I think the alternative to that is just putting a teaspoonful of coffee in your mouth and pouring the kettle in. That's the people in a real hurry.
Do you think your life will be impoverished if you don't have that?
I would feel a complete lazy cow if I had to buy one of these. If you've got to a state where you can't stir your own tea.
If you're too thick to stir your own tea, you shouldn't have hot liquids nearby, you know?
That's true.
It's like I was in America, they have peanut butter and jelly in the same jar for people who forget the recipe.
No,
you know?
it's for people who want to eat straight from the pot. You've been away from America too long.
I apologize.
Anyway, but for you, I have the phobile. Now, this is like an old... Oh,
There it is.
someone's ringing you.
For those of you who think that phones are too small, you get this as a hands-free. And it's a cracking
turn the ringing
idea.
off, please?
It's a cracking idea. Because you know what? There was no such thing as a hands-free when we were younger. Because phones were like this. You didn't need a hands-free because you could do this. I love this
I like the
gesture.
idea of making your mobile an immobile.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's on the phone and he's shouting, as people do.
Yes, I know.
When they're on the phone.
Hello?
I'm on the train!
I'm on the train!
Stop shouting into the telephone. I want to talk to somebody else. Audience, I want to know which is your favourite gadget here. Vote now.
It's looking very popular.
LavNav has won 58%.
I thought so.
Believe it.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I'm keeping that LavNav for myself. But I have got something better for you. I'm giving two of you a luxurious break for two people, so that's four altogether, really, I can add up, at Ragdale Hall Health Hydro. So if your keypad is lit up, you may stand up, please. That's very good. Congratulations. Well, I'm back in the kitchen. I'm always happy to be here. And this is my version of guacamole. I know guacamole is kind of everywhere and you can buy it in the supermarket, but I think this is better, not least because my guacamole is just green. So I banish the tomato. I also banish the onion, and the reason I do that is because the spring onions I use are less burpy. That's going to be frank here. So I've got one avocado. I'm just going to scoop out another. And really, I like the scritchy sound as you go against the skin. Right, so on top of that avocado, I have got chilies, green chilies. I've just de-seeded those, just because I don't want this to be too hot. Spring onions, as I said, that's instead of onion. Freshly chopped coriander, lime juice and salt. And what I do to start off with is just put some salt, need it quite salted, into the lime juice, because I think that helps it dissolve, so you actually get spilling things left, right and centre as usual. The idea there is that when you pour it over the avocado, which I'll just do now, the salt and sourness, which are essential, I think, goes right through the guacamole, so you don't just have it in bits. OK, this is so easy. The chilies, spring onions, coriander, might leave a bit for sprinkling later if I feel that way inclined. And then just use a fork to mash it. You know, it's incredibly important that guacamole isn't supermarket smooth. It should be, you know, soft clay chunks. I shall just decant into a bowl to serve it. That's it. Perfect, quick, green guacamole, which I have with those bits of raw vegetables, or, of course, need some of the tortilla chips.
It certainly was exactly what you said. It was very speedy.
Yes, because I didn't chop the spring onions there. Would you like? Would you like vegetables to dip in, or why am I asking?
Yeah, no. Put the nachos.
Although I think the sugar snaps are really great.
It's not that smooth, as you said.
Nice.
That lime juice and chilli really works,
Nice,
doesn't
isn't it?
Really
and
nice.
I love this as well with grilled fish. But anyway, I could talk about how I eat forever. So for now, I'll stop. But anyway, thanks, Meera. Thank you to John and Maria. And see you next time.